Hi everyone, this is Safrina Kadri and I'm coming to you from fengshuiandprosper.com. Now, we are just one day away from going into 2015, and I wanted to take this chance to wish everyone a strong and happy new year ahead. Now, the Chinese New Year is actually happening February 19th. And if you have been following me, you know that I practice professionally classical feng shui. And that means the time factor is a very, very important element in our feng shui practices. Now, what does Flying Star Feng Shui for the year 2015 have in store for us? Now, before I go further into details, because for this particular call, I want to concentrate on your front door, but I want to invite you to a free Feng Shui 2015 webinar that I am holding on January 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I know it's Eastern Time, but hopefully I'll get people from other parts of other time zones to join me. And in fact, I have a lot of Asian followers who have already registered and claimed their spot for the webinar. I don't want you to miss out. So claim your spot here. Go to my website, www.fengshuiandprosper.com. There's a simple registration form there. And once you do that, just a few days prior to the webinar, I will email out a workbook that's going to, there is some pre-work that needs, simple pre-work that needs to be done before the webinar in order for you to really prepare for the information that I'm going to share with you on January 27th. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be, I'm making it to be very different and very unique in terms of the 2015 feng shui placements that you can do for your home. So I really, really hope to see you on that call. Now, as I mentioned earlier, for this particular hangout, I wanted to concentrate mainly on the front door or the main entrance for your house. Or if you live in a building, the main entrance for your apartment or your condo unit. Although if you live in a building, obviously the main door, the main entrance for the building itself is also very important, but that's kind of out of your control in terms of, activating for feng shui purposes. So we'll just work with what we can control. Okay, so first things first, as if you are a serious feng shui enthusiast, the one tool that you need is a compass. And I'm going to show you this little compass. I actually carry this in my bag. I'll bring it closer to, I hope it can focus a little bit. Yeah. So this is, the brand is called Silva, if you can see here. But there's other really, really good compasses out in the market. Just go to a store that has a hobby aisle, let's say for fishing or camping. I'm sure they would have a good compass. So basically, the question is, how much money do I spend on a compass? Not that much, really. Here in Canada and US, you can buy a very decent one for $15, $20. Pretty much, if you can get lost in the forest and your compass can safely bring you out of it, then that's the compass that you want to use. Okay. I wouldn't use anything from the dollar store, and I wouldn't use, well, I know a lot of the smartphones out there have the compasses as well. You can use that in combination with this, just so more as a cross-reference to make sure that you have the right directions. But I usually carry this little guy here in my bag when I don't have my professional low pan, because that one's like a few pounds heavy and really big. So when I'm I use this for, for regular feng shui purposes, or when I'm in a meeting, or when I'm doing my speaking engagements and things like that. You want to make sure that you're facing a good direction for that year too, which I will also cover at the webinar. So for this one, first step first is get a compass. Okay. And the second step is figure out what roughly is the center of your layout. Okay. So hopefully, if your layout is a square or a rectangle, it makes it a little bit easier. If it's a little bit irregular shaped, just kind of figure out as best as possible what would be the middle point of your layout. I want you to stand there with your compass in your hand and turn yourself to face your main door. So let's say if my main door is on this side, so I'm going to turn my body and look at my compass and figure out what is the compass reading while I'm looking at my door. So this will help you determine the direction of your door in reference to your whole layout. Okay, why is this direction important? Because again, proper feng shui uses the compass direction: north, south, east, west, northwest, northeast, and all that. If you're following a feng shui school that doesn't talk about directions, that's a good sign that you need to start researching a different feng shui school, because classically it's all about directions. So now here's the juicy information bit. I'm going to go through briefly in terms of the all the directions. If your door fall in a specific direction, what will be the main energy sitting there for 2015? Okay, and I'll do a quick rundown on this one, and on the webinar I'll drill in even more in depth in terms of more usage of the calculation, so you can do your feng shui placements even more tailored to your house, as opposed to a generalized video like this. Now, bear in mind that the information that I'm sharing with you here is only dealing with the annual energy, the energy of 2015, the year of the wood goat. A complete feng shui audit of a space will look at 3 levels of energy. Okay, first level of energy is the permanent energy, meaning what is the energy at the front door for as long as you live there. Okay, and then the second level of energy is the annual energy, meaning depending on the energy that's sitting at the front door for the year, it will either make your front door, the permanent energy of your front door, more auspicious, or it will make it less auspicious, which is why there's always ebbs and flows when it comes to energy. So as much as we want to, it would be great for us to feng shui the front door one time and it'll be great for, good luck and prosperous for 20 years. It just doesn't happen that way. So the combination of the permanent energy and the annual energy is really important to see. And when I do my professional consults with my clients, I look into the monthly energies as well, so that, again, if there are certain months where it's a little bit touch and go at the front door, I give my clients a heads up so they know what they need to do. Okay, so are you guys, if you want to pause this video, take your compass reading and figure out your front door, that would be great. If not, you can always do this a little bit after, come back to this video, and I will go through the directions one by one. Okay, so if your front door is in the northwest corner of your house, you can definitely heave a huge sigh of relief in 2015, because 2014 was a little bit of a challenge, wasn't it? For 2014, the northwest door was the most afflicted that year. That put up a lot of challenges, a lot of stress, a lot of strain to whoever that was living in that house. So if this is your case, if your door is in the northwest, you can definitely feel a little bit better, because the energy that's coming through that door for 2015 is much better for healthy relationships, especially in terms of love relationships. So that's great news if you are single and you're wanting to find love in 2015. It's also great for education luck or literary luck. So one great way to activate it for 2015 is to put in crystals. And for boosting love luck, you know, the common the convention is to look for rose quartz. So if you can have like a nice crystal display at the front door, you know, or around the front door, that would be great. If you want to boost education luck, then you could look up calcite crystals. There's many types, many different colors. You can, you know, place those at the front door as well. But even if you don't put the crystals in for any door, mind you, for any door, be it auspicious or not auspicious, usage of the door will activate whatever energy that's there. Okay, positive energy or negative energy. So in this case, the northwest main door being more auspicious this year, you don't really need to put the crystals, but just going in and out of that door, you're already activating the positive chi. So you would be already good to go there. And the next one is if you have, so we're going to go counterclockwise. So if you have an entrance in the west direction of your house, this is unfortunately where you need to watch out. You need to be really wary of this. If you're in a house and if you have a separate entrance, by all means use that. Here in North America, if you're in a house, usually there's an entrance in the garage or there's a side door or even a back door. So if you're able to use that, I know it's a little bit of a pain, but I promise you, you will, at the end of the year, you will realize it wasn't that bad after all. So if you have a separate, a different door you can use, definitely use that. For the remainder of 2015, you want to keep that door quiet and dark. So if you have lighting there, you want to turn it on only when you need it. You know, let's say it's at night and you want to put your shoes on. And I would put also a lot of metal there. Now, classical feng shui, you don't need any Chinese looking feng shui items to activate or remedy a specific area. Most important thing is if you have the right element, you're good. So in terms of placing more metal items at the front door, it could be as simple as a metal vase, a metal shoe bench, a metal, if you have like if you like to have a table by the front door, by the entryway, a metal table, right? Or even a mirror with metal frames. Although be careful with mirrors at the front door. You don't want it to reflect the door and you don't want it to reflect any clutter or anything that's unsavory. So those are things that, that you can do. Or even like a metal umbrella holder. Really, you can really be creative with this. And even outside of the door, if you are in a house, if you can put metal planters, that would be great. But the caveat is usually people put soil in the planters. So if you're able to put a planter, but maybe put a fake plant that obviously doesn't need real soil, because the earth energy actually will activate the affliction in the west area even more. So planter is great. If you need plants in there, go for fake plants, just so it doesn't need the soil. And also, if you have a door at the west, anything that's fiery, I would also take it away from the area. So anything that's red color, or any lighting, any candle features, or you know, a lot of people, they maybe have like those Himalayan salt lamps or anything like that. I would take those away as well. After 2015, you can put them back. Okay. And then for the southwest, if you have a door in the southwest of your house, it's definitely picking up steam in terms of the prosperous chi. And actually in 2016, it's going to be, you know, hitting that wealth money spot as well. So the southwest door is definitely like gaining momentum in terms of really positive energy. One thing that I would warn you is not to do any renovation in the southwest corner. So that means no digging, no drilling, no knocking, no, you know, And even outside, no cutting down trees, no digging the earth and things like that. Other than that, you can also activate the energy by keeping that area brightly lit. Just turn on the light at least 3 hours a day. You're good to go. And what happens if you have an entrance in the south corner? Now, the south door was really, really auspicious in 2014. It is getting a little bit weak for 2015. It's a little bit touch and go for the year. So what's the energy for the south door in 2015? There's the robbery energy. And I usually classify that as something, someone, or an opportunity being taken away from you. Okay? Figurative and literal robbery. Another form of robbery is also the robbery of health. So if you feel that your energy is being drained, or you're falling ill a little bit more in 2015 and your door is in the south, it's that energy at the door that's creating havoc there. So what can you do if your door is in the south? Very simple remedy is to put a bowl of water, nothing too small. I would like a nice decorative bowl, and even better if the bowl is blue, that would be great. I wouldn't put a water fountain here or a water feature, no aquarium either. Okay, just a simple bowl of water would suffice. And a door in the southeast. If your door is in the southeast of the house, then it will be a more challenging year in terms of stress and illness. And especially if anyone in your house or in your living space has weak health, they definitely need to watch out more, because the front door for 2015, the energy there is definitely not going to be supportive of the health. Very simple but very powerful remedy for this is to place a lot of metal, just like what I'm suggesting for the west. Also put a lot of metal element in the southeast door. Again, metal planter, metal shoe rack, metal coat rack, anything like that, even like a little metal cupboard or anything like that. Just be creative, figure out what you can place there, and that would be a good way to do it. If your door is in the east, this is definitely great news, especially if you're in sales, if you're in business, because the door in the east is really supportive in terms of sales endeavors. But even if you're not in business, having a door in the east is also really prosperous, and it's also gaining momentum in terms of collecting that wealth chi as well. So if you want to boost it up, again, just by going in and out that door, you're already activating that. Okay. Also, a career potential is actually really, really strong in the east as well. So if you're there, you definitely want to make sure that you go out there and network. And the next one, if your door is in the northeast, it's also a much stronger year for you as well, at least in terms of a stronger front door. 2014 was a little bit challenging, but 2015 will be a little bit more friendly. It's great for career progression and energy-wise, and just like similar to if your door is in the east, you also want to make sure that you go out there and network. Social life is likely to be picking up as well. And I do tend to believe that doors with this, with the northeast energy, it's also really ripe energy in terms of doing self-development work or spiritual work. So if this is something that, if your door is in the northeast, you're kind of contemplating on doing this kind of work, then the energy at the front door definitely will help you, support you in that, and you get more breakthroughs in terms of your progress. So that would be great. And I'm going to talk about why I'm not suggesting any water fountains to activate wealth for this year, especially since Feng Shui and the Shui portion, Feng Shui, Shui is water, obviously. So if you're wondering why I'm not suggesting water fountains or water features or even fish tanks to activate the wealth energy in 2015, it's not because I don't believe in it. It's because I believe that it's so powerful. You need to be really, really careful with water placements. I do not recommend putting in water fountains and water features only based on what you read on the internet or in the books, because those are very, very generalized information. I wouldn't even do it here. Water placements need to be done under professional supervision. In my 7 years as a feng shui consultant, I have seen a lot of DIY feng shui enthusiasts with good intentions, of course. They put in the water fountain and it made things worse. So you definitely don't want to put yourself in that situation. So that is it for me for this video, and I hope this is enough information to get you started. But I really hope that you will join me at my free Feng Shui 2015 webinar that I am holding January 27th. And I will, like I mentioned earlier on the video, I will be drilling down into the Flying Star Feng Shui for 2015 even further, so that you can have the better your feng shui placements, the better your results are going to be. So the more you let go of the general information out there, the better the outcome that you can see. So thank you so much for joining me on this hangout. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and please register for my webinar. I would love to see you there. And in the meantime, Happy New Year, and all the success to you.